Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a party game called LOQ. So LOQ, which for the life of me, it's eloquence. It's the second three letters in eloquence. Have fun trying to explain that to people. But it's a party game, and in this party game, you're trying to get people to guess a slate of clues. This is not a new thing in gaming, but in this game, they're going to give you these round cards. They're going to give you parameters on how you give those clues, which also isn't a new thing to gaming, but you have a time limit. Well, that's also not new. There's a keyword. It's not particularly new. You know what? Let me show you the game, and then we'll talk about what's new in this. Whether you play this game cooperatively or competitively, it's really the same thing. You're just trying to see how high a score you can get as one team, or you compete against each other. In fact, cooperatively is fine, I guess. It's mostly competitive. So each team is going to get a card here, and this shows you the different categories. You got people and places, adjectives, nouns, verbs, phrases, and then there's a keyword, which is one of those. And that's going to apply to these different cards in the game. These cards, so for example, people and places here is Iceland, odd, home, chop, parking space, Roger Federer, multilingual, glue, sharpen, carry on. And you'll notice that each of these gets progressively harder. Yellow is the easiest, then green, then red, then blue. So that's basically the difficulty of them. So Sinai would be the hardest location. Acquit would be a difficult one. Anyway, what you're going to do each round of the game is you're going to turn over the round card. Now, in the first round card, there are no special rules. So each person's going to have 45 seconds, shown with this timer, to get people to guess these. So for Iceland, I might say, oh, Z and I went there for a convention with a lot of waterfalls, or whatever. But each one that people get correct, you can do them in any order you want, is worth 1 point, except for the phrase. Parking space would be 2 points. And one of them, based on the top card here, is the keyword, which is worth an extra point. In this case, phrases would be worth 3 points. So you think I would want to do that first. I can say anything I want, but you can't make any sound effects, motions, anything. It's just words, and you obviously can't use words that are here. Once you get people to guess all these, if that happens, you can flip it and go to the next level. Now, you can start on a higher level, so you don't have to start on level. This is if you're playing the easy game. You can start in the green level. You're not going to get all 4 levels done in 45 seconds. Once one person from each team has given the clues to their teammates, you're going to score points based on how many you got correctly, and you'll go to the next round. Here, though, things are going to change. Like this one says, no more than 4 words for every clue. Teams may only make 1 guess for each word. Play this round at 1 difficulty level higher than normal. You may reveal the first letter of each word. You play with 2 describers this round instead of 1. You lose 2 points if you don't get the keyword. Things like that. So this one's the hardest one. You give all the clues, and then they have to guess them all after you've given all the clues. So, and then the last round is always the same thing. Everything's just worth extra points. That's it. After 10 rounds, whoever has the most points is the winner of the game. And if you're playing a cooperative game, then you're just going to look at your level here. So if I'm playing in yellow and we get 37 points, we're below average. So there's that. See, that's the problem with this game. There's nothing new. I don't know that I think that the word choices are necessarily, it's kind of weird. Like Michael Jackson is the easiest clue in this card. Then we have Alfred the Great. Then we have Beowulf, who I would argue is easier to get people to guess than Alfred the Great. Then Mary, Queen of Scots, who I also think is easier to get than Alfred the Great. That's just me. Then we have the adjective is damp. The next level is numb. The next level is perpetual. And the last letter is hypnotic. I really feel like hypnotic is easier than damp or numb, maybe. But it's not that big of a deal. What I'm saying is I just don't think these levels really matter that much. Yes, the phrases get harder as time goes by. Like this one, parting shot, is probably harder to get than sand dune, maybe. But sand dune is also not a phrase. It's a thing. So I have some small problems with the categories. Then these cards here that change things up. So giving the clues themselves, I don't know that I like the parameters. Are like you can't make any sound effects, any gestures. It's just words. Yeah, that makes a real fun party game to watch. They're just saying the words. They can't, you got to be really careful. Not a big deal. But again, these things, oh, you play this one on a higher level difficulty. You can only get 4-word clues. And it's frustrating because you're not going to be the clue giver often in this game if you play with big teams. And if you get the one like 3-word clues and you're like, oh, well, that's not as fun as the other ones. You're right, it's not. And that's just what you get stuck with. But these parameters are okay. And the clues are okay. But why would I buy this game? I mean, let's compare this to a very, very, very popular game. That's called Taboo. Taboo just has you give words to people, and then there are 5 words you can't say. That's like one of the cards in this game, and it's really refined and well done. What does Eloquence have? Well, it has a ton of cards, so there's that. That's it. It's just really not that interesting. It's an okay trivia game. I wanted to like this one more than I did, but I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 10. There's just a lot missing from this game. It feels like it's derivative of pretty much every other party game out there, but there's nothing where you're like, oh, let's play LOQ. That's a weird name. Anyway, but it just isn't there. We go around a table, people give clues, people guess them, we get some right, we get some wrong, and at the end of the game, everyone's like, meh. While we talk about the best party games, they're either making you roar with laughter, like Time's Up or Apples to Apples. Yes, these are very basic games, but they have something that makes them stand out in the crowd. This one kind of shrinks back and hides behind the taller games. And so therefore, it's not that fun. So that's my review of LOQ. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time on the Dice Tower.